Hey guys, it's Archon. So yesterday during our live stream on Twitch, someone noticed that the patch notes of 1.0.5 were released. Kind of, because it's actually not officially patch 1.0.5. This is the patch notes for the public test realm. That's right, a PTR. I believe this is the first one in Diablo, which is pretty cool. In my opinion, this is what they should have been doing like a couple years ago, is actually letting the players test their game for them for free and telling them what they need to fix so that they can make a better game. So finally they're doing it. Finally they're letting us get in there and play around with the changes they're making, give some feedback so they stop making mistakes with these patches and putting out stuff that's half finished or just not good. So a lot of the stuff in the patch 1.0.5 notes we already knew about. Monster Power, Infernal Machine. I have some videos about those. You'll be able to select how difficult monsters are. You're going to be able to fight Uber bosses. They announced that there's going to be two Uber bosses, and it sounds like they're going to be bosses that are already in Diablo 3. They're just going to look different, be harder, and they'll drop mats or components, they said, for a legendary ring that's going to be bind on pickup or on creating it, I guess. Resplendent chests will now give you Nephilim Valor stacks, and they'll drop loots like elites. Same with events in Infernal will give you Nephilim Valor. We have new shrines, some experience shrines, empowered shrine, and fleeting shrine. Empowered will increase resource regeneration, reduce cooldowns, while fleeting will increase movement speed and pickup radius. Um, they're making it so that snare effects such as Blizzard, anything that slows them down, is going to be more effective against elites, and they show how much in each difficulty. Crowd control effects, diminishing return, that's nothing new, and they use a link if you want to learn more about that. And I'll put a link to these patch notes below too if you guys want to read them in more detail. Auction House, we knew that they were going to make that a little bit better, so they did a lot of updates to that. Battle.net stuff, this isn't quite as exciting, so you guys can read through it if you want. Classes, I read through a little bit of each class. Barbarian, it looks like they're trying to nerf the Whirlwind build. And I'm going to give you guys my speculation, even though I don't play a Barb, so take it with a grain of salt. But the big thing they did to quote unquote nerf Whirlwind is changing sprint. Proc coefficient on Run Like the Wind, which is what you use for the Whirlwind on Barbs, is from zero point 0.2 to 0.08. It's 40% of what it was before. That's a really big nerf. That's a bigger nerf than they gave the Energy Twister. Now, Critical Mass still works with Energy Twister because Storm Chaser works for some reason. But I think I'm sorry. I think Barbarians are going to feel this. I think it's going to be really hard to keep generating enough Fury to keep Wrath of the Berserker up. And so what it looks like they're trying to do is make it so Whirlwind build still works. You just can't stay in Wrath of the Berserker the whole time. The other problem is going to be you're going to need a lot more life on hit, I think, because you can get a lot less life on hit procs from Sprint. You might need twice as much life on hit. But it looks like they still want the Whirlwind build to work because they reduced the Fury cost of Whirlwind almost in half, and they buffed Blood Funnel, which makes your healing get doubled. So my guess is they want you to use Whirlwind, but they don't want you to go so fast. They don't want you to be able to stay in Wrath the whole time, and they don't want you to use the rune that makes it so you go faster in Whirlwind. They'd rather use the healing one. It looks like they're going to make it good enough here with the proc coefficient reduced on sprint. You're going to need this one, so you won't be able to go as fast, but it'll still work. That's what it looks like they're trying to do. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I think we all knew that the Whirlwind build just worked too well for farming Paragon or items or anything like that. It was just too fast. Demon Hunter, they made some cool changes too. Of course, they did nerf. I'm sorry, the Vault Rune, Blade Cinders. What is it called? Sorry, guys. Trail of Cinders. They nerfed that. They said they accidentally put 1500, so it's down to 300 now, but it can stack. So you go back and forth a bunch of times, it gets higher. But they did some cool stuff too on here. They made it so you can have two sentries out at a time, but now there's a 6 second cooldown, I think. But with there's a passive that can make it so you have 3 sentries out. And they buffed pets. Sorry guys, I'm all over the place right now. Wolf, spider, and boar companions are going to be like actual pets that can tank. And spiders will like slow them down. Boars are the tankiest. Wolves do the most damage. So it seemed like I haven't played a Demon Hunter either, but it seems like it'd be cool to like do a sentry boar companion build where you're like putting 3 sentries out, and then you have like maybe like your spider out there slowing them down, so your sentries are shooting them, and then you're just standing back. If you want to, you could get Trail of Cinders and go back and forth while your sentries and spider. I don't know. Seems kind of cool. Like might bring in some new Demon Hunter builds. The monks got just nothing but buffs. Everything just, I mean, a bunch of stuff just got a little bit better. You can read through it. Now, of course, they did nerf seize the initiative, but they nerfed all defensive skills. If you guys hadn't heard about that yet, they nerfed all the defensive skills that everyone just felt like they had to use, so that people wouldn't feel like they had to use them. And then they nerfed the damage taken in Inferno to compensate. So now you shouldn't need the defensive skills, but it's not really a nerf because overall it's kind of a buff. Witch Doctor, there wasn't much. Just Wall of Zombie Spirit Barrage got a little bit better. And they reduced Jungle Fortitude. Yeah, they made Jungle Fortitude not as good. Wizards, slow time is way better now. Slow time just slows a lot more, and the time shell rune makes it's just as big. It doesn't make it smaller anymore. They did nerf energy armor and prismatic, but we knew that. It's one of those skills. They changed one of the familiar runes. Instead of Dartling, it's now one that gives you life per second. Hydra just fixed some buffs, some bugs. They try to make the armor better other than energy armor, so we have a reason to use different armors. Like ice armor will now reduce melee attacks by 8%. They buffed magic missile damage, and they made it so penetrating blast will now penetrate 100% of the time instead of 70. Meteor, they gave it the buff it needed. Meteor might actually be usable now. Instead of a 2-second delay after you cast it, it's going to be a 1.25 second delay. So it's going to be actually usable, I think. Might be worth using. Ray of Frost got a big buff. Sleet Storm does more damage, which it already did a lot of damage, but it has a lower proc coefficient, so can't really use it for critical mass. Black Ice got a big buff because no one was using that. There's just slow time changes. Spectral Blade got a buff. Healing Blades will now heal on all attacks, not just crits. Storm Armor got changed. It's now going to periodically do 100% weapon damage as lightning to nearby enemies. Reactive Armor now does 70% weapon damage to ranged and melee attackers. And Strike Back has been changed, just renamed, I guess, just to Thunderstorm. Just a name change, not sure why. Teleport now breaks roots, which is pretty cool. I'm really excited about that because I use teleport all the time, and that's going to be really cool. And Reversal now ignores line of sight, so you'll just automatically go back to where you were. And then Wave of Force just had a cooldown and reduction. Unstable Anomaly is a little bit better. And now heals them and slows targets that were knocked back. So Unstable Anomaly might be worth using. I didn't read much through the crafting. I craft material stack more. You guys can read through that. I haven't been able to read through it too much. I know that it now takes 4 seconds to identify legendaries. To add some suspense there. Changed some followers. I haven't been able to read through that. But yeah, you guys, I'll put a link down below so you guys can read through all this. And then there's some item changes. Legendaries are going to be more obvious when they drop. It's going to be like a pillar of light and a sound and a ping on the map. So you're not going to be able to miss legendaries anymore. Items below item level 58 will not drop in Inferno anymore, which is really cool. Yeah, Monk's class skill bonuses can roll on shields. There's a couple new things in there. When you have additional players in your party, monsters will only get 70% extra health instead of 75 like before. So just more incentive to group together. There's a couple specific monsters that they changed just to make them a little bit, just have better AI or to be a little bit easier. And then some bug fixes, you can read through those if you want to. But yeah, I mean, looks like pretty promising patch notes. I don't think I'm quite as excited about it as I was 1.0.4, but I am really excited that they're doing a PTR. I mean, that's really what they should have been doing this whole time, is letting people test their game for free and give feedback for free and really make sure that the things they're implementing are going to work. So they don't have stuff like Trail of Cinders doing 5 times as much damage as they meant it to do. So yeah, read through that. Let me know what you think in the comments. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I don't know when the PTR is coming out. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know. That's when Mop comes out, so might be kind of weird. I will be playing Mr. Pandaria starting Tuesday. I might even start Monday. I'm gonna take about a week off of Diablo, but then I'll be back on. I'll be playing at least 4 hours a day on the live stream, so check that out if you haven't already. We're about to hit 5,000 subscribers, so you guys can help us get there if you subscribe, and we're doing a huge giveaway once we do, like $500 worth of Diablo stuff. So thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll have another video for you soon.